And we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel, Pokémon TCG Center. I'm going live with Giratina, Malamar, and Deoxys deck, featuring standard format. Actually, in today's live stream, I'm playing on my second account, where I can also play tournaments. Recently, I built this account, and for today's video I decided to play well-known Gaskan deck, Claiming the Ladder, which I already completed. So far I'm on a 164 position in the world. You can check my stats on TCG ladder, trying to actually enter the first place in the world. So today's live stream is about going in top 100, so it's definitely possible. There's a deck list, not gonna waste my time too much explaining on deck list. It's also gonna be provided in the video description, so going to the versus mode with the Gaskan. So far I have almost 3 completed decks on this new account. If you also want to add me as a friend, you can do that as well. BlastBoy90 is my account name. So far I've been playing a lot of games with Lost March in this account, because Lost March was the easiest way to basically enter in the world of gaming on the new account. I also looking forward to build Gramble. So far I need only 3 more cards to complete Gramble deck, 1 Pulphead and 2 Shrines. Hopefully I will have those cards probably tomorrow morning. And obviously Gaskan as well. So managed to complete 3 decks. I'm also looking forward to build a couple more decks on this new account. It's not super easy, right? Because it's very hard to obtain specific cards that you need, and that's the biggest problem. How many games I'm gonna play in today's live stream, I don't know. I'm looking forward for maybe around 10 or something like that. It all depends. Alright, so 3 Malamars, opening hand, not the best way to start, but luckily there's no basic Pokemon. Oof, it was very close. Marshadow, luckily there was 1 copy of Inkay as well, so alright, and another Inkay. And even better, we have some sort of Mysterious Treasure play, which will be for 1 Giratina. And then I will play Ultra Ball for my Marshadow and Giratina in exchange for another Inkay, obviously. And this is gonna be Lillie for 7. Another Inkay. Yeah, I think I can put 1 more in play. It's Eevee on the other side of the field, so I'm thinking about grabbing this Necrozma-GX and putting it in play as well. Opponent have very huge hands, so I'm thinking about just Marshadowing him. But before I Marshadow him, I'm also gonna throw 1 more energy into my discard pile and just go quickly through my deck once again to see how many resources do I have available. 2 Cynthias and 2 Lilies until the end of the game. I was too clumsy and I was not sure if I have another Rescue Stretcher available, and I had, so it's all fine so far. There we go. For next turn I will have 2 copies of my Mystery Treasure available for 2 Malamars. Unfortunately only 1 energy available. And it is a fairy type of the deck on the other side of the field, meaning that he plays some sort of Sylveon deck featuring potentially Gardevoir. For those watching on YouTube, if you already don't follows me on the Twitch, I would actually really appreciate if you can just follow me on the Twitch. Link is provided in my video description as well, so make sure to check that. Alright, so Mystery Treasure for my Malamar. Good thing is that I can hypnose my opponent Sylveon, so if he flip tails on the coin flip, he won't be able to do anything specifically next turn. Luckily. So it is some sort of the disruptive deck on the other side of the field. Yeah, so far I'm just gonna pass my turn. I shouldn't put third Inkay in play, but never mind for that. Again, I don't want to waste any of these cards so far from my hand. Neither Mystery Treasure, neither that Ultra Ball, neither looking for to set another Malamar in play. There's a mountain Lenakilo, which says that the retreat cost of each basic Pokemon in play will be one more, so there's a magical ribbon. We know that he have Guzma available right now in his hand, so probably next turn he might just decide to snipe me. The reason why I don't want to waste my resources is simply because he can play GX my bench, so I think it's not worth. In this case, still I think it's not worth, but I'm just gonna play Cynthia. He has so many cards available in his hand. Well, I'm gonna go through my Acro Bikes just because I'm hoping to get some energies in my discard pile. I'm just... Wow, no energies in the discard pile. That's just amazing. Just one of them. That's the reason why you should not clunk your bench, because you're just gonna be in a position where you're not gonna be able to do anything. I'm struggling versus that Sylveon, but I will find a way to knock him out with a single shot. There is no doubt about it. Once I manage to grab energies and put them into my discard pile. Okay, let's go with another Malamar, right? We can do that. And what about adding even more Malamars in play? Maybe I can force him somehow to use the play GX. So I can then have bench available for Tapu Lele play into some sort of Cynthia or something like that. I mean, his hand is tremendously huge, so I need to hit him with the Marshadow sooner or later. There's Lucami, so he wants to grab another one into his hand, which makes no sense. I hope there's no some sort of unknown play where he can just win the game if he has specific amount of cards in his hand. Okay, finally energy card. One thing is for sure, once I manage to yeah, Plumeria as expected. Okay, sooner or later I'm gonna get that Escape Board, and once I manage to hit Escape Board and energy, that will be it. By meaning entering top 100 in the world just by TCGO, you know. Looking to enter top 100 in the world on the TCGO ladder. Okay, so I need one more energy for retreat because of this freaking stadium card, and there is a crushing hammer. Luckily it is a tails, but he have probably a couple more crushing hammers available. And he managed to flip heads on the coin flip. And next turn we can expect to see that Plumeria play. Well, it is a 2 retreat cost, so it's really hard to retreat in this specific moment. I can't play Guzma, I don't have retreat available cards, so the only thing I can do is just waste my energy cards and that's it. Hope for the best. I mean, I have like 5 more energy cards left, so there's Plumeria as expected. And then he's gonna play another Lissimi for Plumeria, and he can do that until the end of the game. I'm not gonna have enough resources to retreat, so the game for me unfortunately is lost because I can't avoid this stadium card. This deck does not contain any copy of... Unfortunately, this deck does not have any copy of... Yeah. I'm just wasting my time here against this Sylveon because I don't have a single copy of Stadium card available to replace his Stadium in order to retreat. So it was just impossible, unfortunately, to retreat. Really, it was. Didn't play too much with this deck, to be honest. Yes, so I'm at 164 place right now in the standard format because I'm only playing standard format. Not a huge fan of expanded, but this is my second account, so I have one more account where I'm just recording regular videos with deck profiles. So I decided recently to build another one. If you would love to buy something from CCG Castle, then in case they don't have something available, you should always send a message and ask them for more quantities if they don't already have. Taking a closer look to my opening hand, we have Acro Bike available for something like a Malamar. And again, I'm rather gonna go with that Nazball for I'm comfortable with another Inkay. This needs to be one Lillie for let's see, if I attach energy to my active Chimecho, which I will, and if I play Lillie for 7, I will get a lot of energy cards in just a single copy of Malamar. Okay, not bad, to be honest. So where you can see, you can go to Pokémon TCGO ladder. I'm gonna link. Okay, so somebody actually links before I managed to do it. So guys, I'm also streaming on Twitch TV right now, going live, just in case. If you don't know, you can follow me there as well. I would really appreciate that. I almost have 100 followers there as well. You can buy codes on CCG Castle, but I'm not actually sure if they type the codes or if they just ship them as physical cards, because I never purchased a single online code on CCG Castle because I didn't need any of them. But I'm like 100% positive that they have all code cards, and they always have best prices for any card, specifically for code cards. But I think there's the catch that you actually need to wait them until they ship them physically to you. But maybe they changed that. Maybe I'm actually wrong. I'm not sure. You should just try to contact them. You can reach them on Facebook or on Gmail if you need any specific answer to the question. They will always answer to the question as fast as possible. Alright, so we can see that my opponent has a lot of Pokemons that actually plays ability cards like Ditto, Eevee. There is a double course energy and energy drive. Meanwhile, oh, finally something useful as a top deck. I think I can use one turn of Bell of Silence, or I can go straight away for the prize card. I think it's much better to chase prizes. And in my situation, the biggest threat for me might be that it could be Garbodor, but he is not a big deal anyways. I can one-hit knock him out easily. I think this Rua actually is the biggest threat for me. If you ask me why I didn't try to Bell of Silence my opponent, I think it's not worth, because he's gonna take prize card next turn easily. If there was no double course energy for Tapu Lele, I would probably consider doing it. But right now it just makes no sense to me. If Tapu Lele wants to knock me out, then he actually need to add one more double course energy, and adding another double course energy could be a big deal, but he actually rather decided to go for Espeon in this case. Since I have another Guzma, it's quite obvious that I will try to target his Rua on the bench, and I will also potentially try to power up my Tapu Lele to the limit where I can simply one-hit knock out his Espeon. Or I can, for example, just use Psychic and strike his Tapu Lele as well, and then just try to chase him next turn with the Guzma. But since he have Espeon who's weak on the Psychic, I think the best play would be just to Power Blast this Espeon on the bench with my Deoxys Power Blast for the one-hit knockout. They should have codes for the last set as well. As I said, they usually have a lot of code cards for latest set, because they usually have codes very cheap, so many people just buy code cards from them. Let's go with the Inkay to the active position, shall we? One Psychic Recharge. One energy manually attached from my hand. And I cannot use my Lillie for now, but it's not a big deal. I can go with my Power Blast for the 2 prize card knockout. Perfect, another Guzma. And a Nesball. So next turn potentially I can grab myself a Necrozma-GX, which means I can one-hit knock out this Tapu Lele easily. Yeah, as I told you, they have cheap code cards. Not sure how much other sites have codes, but they actually keep fair prices. Okay, so he took the knockout, and it's my turn to return with the knockout back. So I'm taking my Necrozma-GX, putting it on the bench. I'm attaching 1 energy to it, 2 Psychic Recharges, and in addition to that, I have 1-hit knockout. I'm just gonna go with the Lillie. Perfect. So I can retreat for free. I can put a Pokemon from my discard pile into my hand, which is obviously going to be this Malamar. And I'm ready for that Prismatic Burst. Oh, before that, let's see what we can get with the Acro Bike, Mystery Treasure. Alright, taking that as well. I can attach 1 energy somewhere. 1 more energy with the Psychic Recharge. Can go to my Tapu Lele just so I can have backup solution for next turn. 1 Prismatic Burst should be enough for the knockout. And I'm ready to take 2 more prize cards, Ultra Ball and Psychic Energy. Alright, so even if he can knocks me out with Garbodor, I have my Giratina available in a discard pile, and more than that, there are 2 energies available in my hand. There's a Escape Board as well, in case if he somehow can knock this energy from Chimecho, and more than that, there will be a Guzma play, as expected. So he just wants to have the knockout against this guy, maybe, potentially, but I can still retreat with the Tapu Lele for free, or maybe play my Guzma. The game is over anyways, because I can take the last prize card and take the first victory. Biggest problem is that once you manage to win the ladder, and once you manage to win 12 games in a day, so far I have 13 of them, you won't be able to get extra bonus from the daily rewards. That's kind of sucks, you know. Alright, so looks like we're gonna face up Blacephalon in another matchup. Yeah, going first against Blacephalon is always good, because you really want to Bell of Silence him, so he won't be able to play those Naganandles from their hand. And even worse, I can let loose him down to 4, but even worse for him, he started with the let loose, so that's a very bad thing. It's obvious I'm gonna go with another Mystery Treasure in this case. So I'm actually going to take the risk there with this Giratina for my Inkay, and something tells me I should rather first go with the Cynthia than risk with the Marshadow. Alright, it was a very good decision. Oh, I almost put my Giratina on the bench. Oh, he decided to concede. Okay. Quick victory. I still don't know how many points you get for victory on the TCGO ladder. I think one victory probably goes for 10 points. So in order to... I think it is 10 points for victory, maybe even 15, but I will assume it's a 10. I don't like to play versus Garchomp, mainly because I can't one-hit knock out Garchomp with this deck. It's very hard for this deck to beat Garchomp, once Garchomp managed to set up, obviously. You can do some specific moments with Giratina where you can spread 2 damage counters on your opponent benched Pokemons, 1 on each of his benched Pokemons, but still, I don't feel comfortable playing against Garchomp with this type of the deck. So we're gonna see a retreat on the Beacon, obviously. And something tells me I should go with the Cynthia, but I decided to play Lillie instead. And I can let loose my opponent, but I think I should let loose him next turn. So meanwhile, I'm just gonna try to set this Inkay in play. So turn to Garchomp and Lucario. I wish I actually let loose my opponent. Who would expect to see both Lucario and Garchomp turn 2 in play? Personally, I would not, but somehow he managed to get both of them. And there's a switch, so we're gonna see Snipe on that Ditto for 50. And he somehow managed to take the first prize card in the game. Okay, Inkay, what about putting this bad boy in play? Don't think it is a very good idea. So I'm just gonna throw both of these cards into my discard pile, and I will just try to get another Inkay in play for the next turn. Really want to be in a position where I can have 3 Pokemons available for something. Actually 3 Malamars available for recharge. Alright, so that's gonna be the knockout with Royal Blades. That's for sure. He just needs Cynthia in order to do that. Yeah, the weakest point of Garchomp actually is the fact that you need to recharge it without energy acceleration. So if they print some sort of Pokemon with ability that can power up one fighting energy, which probably not gonna happen. Oh, he have XP share, and I'm not running single tool scrapping card, so that is actually a bad day for me. All right, let's see what I can get with the Lillie. Just a bunch of energy cards. Let me calculate something. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So I can knock him out. So I'm just gonna try to let loose something there. I guess I don't need to search my deck for a supporter card. I'm just ready for the Psychic Recharge. And for the let loose in addition to that. Okay, this looks much better. Yeah, on the Twitch is very hard to gain viewers because Pokemon game it's not that popular on the Twitch, unfortunately. I would really love to build some viewer base on the Twitch as well, but it's just impossible. I mean, even on YouTube it's hard these days to get some viewers. I mean, there's so many people who have built their accounts. It's not like before 2 years ago when there was not too many players playing and streaming TCGO, you know. It's very hard these days to be popular on the Twitch. And we're gonna see Royal Blade for the knockout there, as expected. But right now it's a turning point for me because I just need energy as a top deck, but even if I can't get energy as a top deck, I still have 2 Rescue Stretchers, so I'm actually going to shuffle first 3 Pokemons from my discard pile into my deck back, and then I will play this Nest Ball, which will be for my Necrozma-GX, and then I'm going to grab myself a Tapu Lele from the discard pile as well. But keep in mind that right now I'm just gonna try to get rid of as many cards as I can from my hand. Also, I'm gonna play Nest Ball, which is not gonna be for anything. And then I will use my Psychic Recharge. So I'm gonna grab myself Lillie. Alright, I managed to get energy card. That's the most important thing. And I have 2 Psychic Recharges available as well. And one more thing that I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna obviously retreat. And the second thing, I will first try to play this Acro Bike. Oh, luckily I managed to get another Malamar in play. Alright, so we have another Malamar, and 1 energy should be attached to my Tapu Lele in worst possible scenario where my opponent can simply scrap my tools and I might not be able to retreat for free. So at least I can attach energy manually. And this should be enough for the knockout with Prismatic Burst. So I'm traveling behind my opponent by a lot right now, and I also have my Necrozma in play, which is not a good thing at all. But luckily he don't have Garchomp, neither Gable. And right now he benched one, but luckily I managed to somehow get that Guzma from prize cards. And I'm just looking forward to Guzma his Gable on the bench for the knockout. Super, it's my turn. It is a Guzma play. It is quite obvious that right now I don't need my Necrozma. I have 6 energies in my discard pile, so something tells me I should just power up my Tapu Lele because I'm not gonna need actually to discard my energies in order to get the knockout. Biggest concern right now is how to get another Guzma. I still have 2 of them. How many Guzmas in my discard pile? I played 1, so 1 more Guzma is actually in my prize cards. So if I can pull 1 more time Guzma, then I think I can probably win this game. Yes, there it is. So right now I have very good position. He have 3 Gables in his discard pile. However, he does have 2 Lucarios, and there's another Gable on the bench and a Lance. Ooh, Lance. Alright. A Como OGX and a Garchomp. It all depends where the energy will go. He decided to put energy to the Garchomp, and there's Pregnative Aura, which might be for some sort of rare candy play. However, as long as I can knock this Garchomp out next turn, which I can, I don't need to worry too much. I think I can still win this game. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. It's definitely not worth to attach energies on the Tapu Lele. However, this bad boy needs to be somehow knocked out. And I need to get lucky somehow with another Guzma top deck. There's a Rescue Stretcher, so we're gonna see some recycling as expected. And a Beacon play. He have available Garchomp on the bench, and he will have available Garchomp next turn on the bench. And my top deck will be just the Ultra Ball. So with 6 energies, I could go for 120 with my Tapu Lele, which would not be enough for the knockout. But I do have another Guzma available. And I just need to get energy, and even more than energy, from that prize card. It is a NAS ball. It is an ugly ball actually at this moment. Yes, the truth is I managed to knock him out. We might see right now rare candy for another Garchomp. Who knows, maybe he decide to apply me some pressure with a Como OGX. He can easily win the game once he managed to put his Super Boost energy in play. Okay, my turn. Energy was a top deck. So I think I can say GG to my opponent, because it's quite obvious that he right now won this game. Nope, I can't even retreat. I was actually short for that Guzma play. And there's the Guzma. Well, only miracle can happen, but he had another rare candy available, and right now he can knock me out with a Combo GX. I couldn't simply retreat my Necrozma from the active position, which led me to the defeat. Overall, it was a very close game, but once I said at the beginning of the video, it's very hard to play against Garchomp with this type of the deck. Really super hard. Once you're stuck with Necrozma in the front, you can't do too much. Oh, Lost March. Alright, Lost March. I don't know what to think about the Lost March. With 2 Giratinas it would be much easier to beat Lost March. With only 1 Giratina, it's a little bit harder to play. Not impossible. Alright, so I'm gonna play Escape Board, Nest Ball for 1 Deoxy, 1 Acro Bike, perfect for the energy. And then I'm gonna play my Lillie for 6. There is a Mystery Treasure, so thinking about just grabbing myself another Malamar. More than that, I think I'm still not gonna retreat my Inkay, or I should actually. He can't retreat Hoppip anyways. I mean, theoretically maybe he can, but he probably won't. 2 energies, 1 energy in my discard pile. I do have 2 Malamars and Cynthia with Escape Board. I will assume that he don't play a single copy of Field Blower. However, maybe I'm wrong, so we shall see. There's a Mountain Pass. I was only scared about not to Guzma play with maybe some sort of Trumpix in his lost zone. So there are 2 lost blenders with that Ultra Ball play for the Marshadow let lose. And all suddenly I'm gonna lose both Malamars, but it's not a big deal as long as I have my Bell of Silence, Chimecho in the front, and I managed to top deck also Cynthia as well, so that's a good thing to know. Okay, 2 Trumpix. 2 copies of Trumpix available for my opponent. Still without energy attachment to Hoppip this turn. He won't be able to take a prize next turn without Guzma play. And there's a Lost Blender. Marshadow and Oranguru. Alright. If he misses energy attachment, it's quite obvious that I will have some time to set up. The most important thing for me is to take the first prize card in the game, because this is going to be 1 prize for 1 prize battle, where I simply cannot afford myself to lose first prize card in the game. I will assume that he maybe have double course energy and some sort of the Guzma play. So I'm not gonna take a risk. It's time for that distortion door and for some damage spread. Meanwhile, I'm also ready for that let loose Marshadow play. I didn't want to take the risk. And I can add one Psychic Recharge onto my Giratina just in case of the maybe knockout next turn with Guzma on my Deoxys. So I can have backup respond available. There is a Great Ball, however, he can't play Pokemons with abilities from his hand, so no Skiplums, meaning that he won't have free retreat available. And if I can buy maybe one more 2 turns, all I really need is just to knock this Hoppip out. We might see a... oh, so he decided actually not to hit me for 20 with a tackle with the Hoppip there. So yeah, at least for one more turn I can actually think about maybe even playing a Guzma for that not to, taking the knockout against him. It is a very good question, should I go for the knockout or not? I think I have enough resources available to keep battle right there. But I think I'm happy with just another round of the Bell of Silence. Or I can take the knockout against this Oranguru. Just Bell of Silence, at least for now. Still, he needs to have energy in order to pay retreat cost to retreat this Hoppip. And my turn once again. 2 Guzmas available in my hand. I'm ready for another Bell of Silence. I just want to be 1 prize ahead with the Bell of Silence, and then I will start to Guzma his bench. There's a Mountain Pass. Will there be a supporter discard from my top deck? Actually, it won't. My turn. Okay, so I managed to do that. Alright, there we go. Let's go with another round of the Bell of Silence, and that would be more than enough. There is Escape Board number 2. Right now, this Nado will knock me out immediately. And then after that, I will respond with a knockout with my Deoxys. But before that, let's see what we can do with the Marshadow in the front. Can I do something specifically? Let's see what we can get with the Acro Bike in addition to that. Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball sounds like a good idea, because I just have way too many cards in my hand. And I'm searching maybe for another Marshadow let loose in this case. I want to Shadow Impact. I want to have this Distortion Door available for next turn. So I'm ready with 1 copy of Marshadow as well. He had way too many cards in his hand, so let's just go down to Giratina. And let's use that Shadow Impact play. The weakest point of the Shadow Impact is the fact that you need to place 4 damage counters to one of your Pokemons in play. But then, if your opponent somehow managed to knock Giratina out he have 6 Pokemons in the lost zone. Well, it's quite obvious that once he puts Kiplum in play and then search for the Jumpluff, he will have more than enough resources available for the knockout against this Giratina. And I have 1 prize ahead, so that's the most important thing. As long as I can have prize advantage, I can probably win the game. But I need to be very constant until the end of the game. There it is. There is a Jumpluff and the energy. Still he can instruct. So he got himself 2 more Lost March players and played 2 Skiplums. And maybe even Nazball for another Hoppip. No, instead of that he decided to go with a Natu. For my opponent, the best thing would be just to try to knock my Malamars out if it's possible somehow. Literally, that's the only thing that he actually need to do. Alright, so we do have some resources left. And also this Distortion Door Giratina. I think Giratina will be the MVP in this matchup. Something tells me that this Giratina will win the game here. Because in 3 more turns, as long as I have my Malamars available, Giratina will take 2 more prize cards versus those Natus. So I think that was the biggest misplay for my opponent. The moment he decided to put another Natu on his bench, because he actually gave me 2 prize cards in my opinion. Again, I need to place 4 damage counters on one of my Pokemon in play. It doesn't matter because we're playing the game where my opponent can simply one-hit knock out any of my Pokemons. And I always told myself, if you want to have better matchup against Necrozma Malamar, you should probably try to tech 1 copy of Tapu Koko in your Lost March deck. Because then you can simply surprise your opponent by sniping the bench with Fly Flip. And he might not expect to see Fly Flip, so you can just beat him with the Fly Flip. And he actually didn't get energy cards, so he decided to concede the game instantly. Well played. Ditto Striker is a very, once again, very good deck, to be honest. And I think I will add 1 Zebstrika in this deck as well. Or I'm gonna cut 1 Marshadow, yeah, I will see. Because it's much more important to have those escape boards than Marshadow, but in some specific situations Marshadow might also be a good card to have. Glaceon featuring Greninja GX. And worst possible thing happened to me. I started with my Necrozma in the front. instead of the Chimecho with the Bale of Silence. Haha, Marshadow top deck. And he have Fly Flip Tapu Koko, so I'm very familiar with the deck that my opponent plays on the other side. Very, very familiar with that deck. Because I basically invented this deck by myself. And I have all weaknesses and all advantages of that deck. So we are ready for that Marshadow Let Loose. This could either way be GG turn 2 or loss. It all depends. Will my opponent have Draw Supporter or maybe Double Course Energy for damage spread? There is a Great Ball. And he managed to flip that Eevee. I also have one video which I will upload a little bit later onto my channel, and it's a Charizard Blaziken Meganium deck that I also built earlier today. He had that copycat. Very lucky. Really, it was very lucky. And he also decided to retreat down to Glaceon. Glaceon, whatever you want to call him. We do have Guzma play there. Or Escape Board. I think I'm gonna grab myself a Escape Board. I will attach that energy as well as Escape Board, and I will play another Marshadow because I'm desperately hoping for maybe some sort of... yeah, I was gonna say Guzma play, but... not in this case. Okay, at least I can try to buy some time. At least I can try. Top deck Malamar, and I can have one hit. Oh no, I can't have one hit Nugget because I'm hitting for 190. Oh, well played. He has Switch. And Let Loose. Okay. 2 Malamars. That looks much better. How many energies? One of them. Yeah, I was thinking about, well, it's okay right now. He have that Glaceon available. I can basically play myself a Ultra Ball where I can simply grab that Tapu Lele, and with the Tapu Lele I can have specifically Draw Supporter. But nope, as long as the Frost Bullet, Freezing Gaze Glaceon is in the front, I can't do that. So I'm hoping for the top deck energy, literally. Or Mystery Treasure, for example. So what I can do with the Mystery Treasure? What I can grab myself? Maybe Deoxys. Okay, so he started to apply some pressure with the Frogadier. Next turn I can lose easily 2 prize cards. Oh, another Glaceon prized. Oh, he had one in his hand. Okay. Think I need Draw Supporter so badly. There's a Guzma play, so he actually decided to took my Malamar in the front and probably spread some damage to this Malamar on the bench. with the Frost Bullet. This will be a hard game to recover, to be honest. Really, really hard game. And then very nice top deck, which is a Lillie, and there is energy as well. So I'm gonna have knockout. That's a very important knockout. Meanwhile, I will try quickly to set my Ditto on the bench. And since I have no energies in my discard pile and nothing else I can do, instead of just hit my opponent with a Prismatic Burst, I was considering maybe using also my Prismatic Burst and Black Ray GX, but something tells me this one might not be a good idea, because I need to take the knockout, especially if he don't have draw support or neither double course energy to respond with the damage. There is a Great Ball, however. Will he get Pokemon? Nope, no sign of Greninja, but there is a double course energy. And I'm losing my Malamar from play. So what if I grab myself Tapu Lele? I know it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all. I'm trying to buy some time there, because I can at least try to set my Tapu Lele for that Cynthia play next turn. And the most important thing here is that I will also power up my Tapu Lele, because with a Tapu Lele I might be able to somehow knock this Glaceon out. So let's just try to pass the turn. If I can buy one turn, that might be all I really need. I had two options available, basically, to go for my Malamar and then attach energy to Deoxys and use Psychic to, let's say, Marshadow for 40, actually for 20, because he's weak on the Darkness, or maybe just to hit Eevee on the bench, but then I wouldn't have draw support, and again I would just depend on the top deck. So I actually decided not to do it, tried to risk a little bit, and maybe that risk pay off. We shall see, especially if my opponent misses to retreat this turn. His hand is very limited. He only has 3 cards available at this moment. Without energy, draw support, neither Guzma. Yeah, he has Cynthia, speaking about that. Alright, so he paid that double course energy for retreat. There is Greninja, so 3 damage counters should probably go to Ditto, and he is taking 2 prize cards this turn as well. That's insane. From the beginning of the game, I knew that this game would not go in a good way anyways, so let's see what we can get with the Cynthia. Well, at least I managed to get Rescue Stretcher. I will risk, assuming that he don't have Guzma available. So I'm gonna Energy Drive for 100. And next turn I can knock this Glaceon with my Tapu Lele if I get lucky. As long as I can avoid that double course energy play. There is an Ultra Ball, so this Ultra Ball might be for some sort of Tapu Lele Guzma play. Or maybe just for, I don't know, maybe Marshadow, maybe another Froakie. He played 3 copies of double course energy. He had 25 cards available. I didn't see if there was, yeah, it is a Tapu Lele play, so it's probably gonna be for a Guzma. Yeah, GG. It is just not that consistent, or I just don't know how to play this deck well. Let's try one more time. Alright, Quicksire, Tapu Koko, some sort of damage spread deck. So I'm basically ready here for 2 copies of Inkay, 1 Ditto, 1 Energy Attachment, 1 Mystery Treasure for nothing less but for the Marshadow. Or what about, yeah, we don't have Marshadow, so the only thing I can grab instead of that should be this Tapu Lele play for Wonder Tag. Turn 1 Lillie for 7. I'm preparing myself for the next turn, so there are 2 Malamars available in my hand, as well as the Ultra Ball and Guzma. So potentially I can even try to snipe this Whooper on the bench, or just go for the knockout versus Tapu Koko. Really all depends. There we go, 1 round of the fly flip, 22 all of my Pokemons in play. And what do we have here? A Escape Board top deck. That was a very nice top deck actually. I kind of like the fact that Zipstrike only have 1 retreat cost, where you can simply basically retreat by paying 1 energy or just having Escape Board. It is just amazing. And we're gonna retreat onto Deoxys, so I'm gonna hit with the Power Blast for 120, and I don't need to think should I have energy for next turn or not on my Deoxys. And there's another Malamar. And he immediately plays that Rescue Stretcher. I have 2 options available. One of them is just to try to hunt my other Guzma, or just to go for the knockout versus this Tapu Koko. Since Tapu Koko is spreading the damage around the board, I will just consider playing Cynthia. And, oh, actually he decided to surprise me with the Whooper instead, and then with his Tapu Koko Fly Flip Guzma play. Alright, that was a very clever play. So I'm only gonna need 1 specific card, which will need to be a Escape Board, and I managed to get one. It was not hard to get that Escape Board in play, right? And we don't need Inkay, we already have enough Malamars in play. Nazball sounds like a much better idea, especially if I want to have backup attacker, backup plan. You know, Giratina is not the best possible backup attacker when you play versus damage spread decks. That's for sure. So hitting for 120 with Deoxys and taking a prize card. So right now I'm down to 4, and there's the Acro Bike. Well, he decided to concede. It was obvious because he didn't have other basic Pokemon available in play anyways. Okay, I don't like to start with Giratina mainly because I want to have it in my discard pile so I can potentially use it for Distortion Door. And it's another Lost March deck. Alright. So I'm starting second, which means that I'm probably gonna go with my Tapu Lele, Wonder Tag for Guzma, for Chimecho, Bale of Silence, where I'm gonna target my opponent Hoppip, maybe even Oranguru. It all depends which Pokemon will he have on the bench available. Or maybe he just let loose me turn 1 to 4 cards instead. So there we go with the Ultra Ball. And there is Oranguru as expected. And let loose immediately after that. Alright, how many Hoppips he can put in play? Retrograde Ball from Thunderous Cross. A Lillie for 5. I think I can consider this game as a defeat. Yeah, I think I can concede. Oh. And all suddenly we got Cynthia top deck, so I'm back in action, I guess. Well, sort of. Rescue Stretcher needs to be for... Yeah, I think Chimecho makes no sense anymore anyways. Okay, one more Lillie. That's fair enough, I would say. I can grab another Inkay and put it on the bench. And pass my turn somehow. Who knows, maybe I even survive this turn. It's really hard to think about that, but if my opponent misses double course energy play, and that's everything, then everything is possible. So with 3 Pokemons in the Law Zone, he's hitting for 60, or in translation for 120, and he still needs one more Pokemon in the Law Zone in order to one-hit knock on my Giratina. However, he missed that opportunity. And that's quite amazing. So I'm ready for another Cynthia play. And that Cynthia was just complete disaster, really it was. So I'm just gonna pass my turn back to my opponent. Oh my goodness. What in the world I need to do to win this game? It's just so hard even to think about it. I think it's just near impossible to come back in this game anymore for me, because the game setup was just not there, and right now I'm just having a hard time trying to set things up. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Giratina. This Hoppip will become sooner or later Jumpluff, so I think it's not worth wasting my time trying to snipe him on the bench. No escape board. You gotta be kidding me there. And I even... Oh my gosh. I should attack with my Marshadow instead. This is just not true. I mean, the best thing I can do is just to buy myself a turn with the Chimecho, but it doesn't matter actually too much. It really doesn't matter too much. I mean, I could even Hypnosis his Naru, but not worth in my opinion anyways. I didn't have this bad boy turn 1, so that's the reason why That's the part of the reason why I'm losing this game so far. Oh, double course energy discarded. Okay, I always love to see that type of the play. I mean, I'm not gonna give up, that's for sure. I will try to win this game still. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm trying to win it. Yeah, I realized again that I made a mistake when I didn't attach energy to Marshadow, because I could be able to knock this Natu out with the Marshadow, and then next turn I would have my Giratina ready for the knockout versus his Jumpluff. Those tiny plays are actually so important. I would go with the Ultra Ball, but I'm not 100% positive if I have left my Zebstrika in my deck. I was not 100% sure if there was Zebstrika. I don't remember if there was Zebstrika, so this was the only reason why I just decided not to play Ultra Ball this turn. It wouldn't change things dramatically anyways. There's the Cynthia play as well. Okay, 3 energy. Ooh, what the heck was that? That was a huge misplay. This misplay might lead my opponent to defeat, actually. So right now he had 1 less energy to use, which is a very important thing. Still, I'm 2 prize cards behind my opponent, so there's a mountain pass. Okay, and the net ball for the Hoppip. Ooh, that's not good, especially if he have a couple more energies prized, and if he won't be able to recover them. Right now we can go with that Ultra Ball play. There is Zebstrika. I would say it doesn't matter too much where the damage counters will be placed, because there's no way I can play 5 more times Giratina to knock this Marshadow. Neither 3 more times to knock this Hoppip out, that's for sure. Because he only have 3 prize cards remaining, so it's just impossible for that type of the outcome. However, what we can get there, 1 copy of Acro Bike for Guzma. I can take that. And I can play Lillie as well. And I was just wondering where are my escape boards, because I literally need them, but I can't get them, and where they are when I need them. For the moment, I think about Veil of Silence, but then again, why in the world would I even consider doing that and playing that? Alright, so this Jumpluff is ready for the knockout. The question still remains how many Natus and double course energies and grass energies my opponent have left. Two double course energies in discard pile. 1 grass energy in play, 1 in discard pile, 1 in the lost zone. So he's very limited on the resources right now. So that misplay when he attached energy to Skiploom and then recycle it, Skiploom back to the lost zone, might be the game-breaking change here. There's a Lost Blender. He's trying to thin his deck in order to get that energy. There's another Skiploom and double course energy for Nadu, and there's Instruct. So far, he didn't play too many Guzmas. Only one in the loss zone. I'm losing the prize here, that's for sure. Oh boy. One more distortion door. I'm actually going for that Natu on the bench, I don't know why. I don't need this Malamar, that's for sure. And with the Rescue Stretcher, I don't actually need any other card as well. So just gonna play my Sprint. And one Shadow Impact. Oh, wish there was some sort of Enhanced Hammer play. So I can take the Enhanced Hammer away from that Natu and also knock this Jumpluff out. And I would say then this would be a win condition for me, like 99%. It would be. I mean, even right now it's not far from the win, especially if he won't have that energy for the last prize card next turn. But he's trying to thin his deck as much as possible, and there's a Marshadow play. And a Lost Blender, so he even decided to throw that Marshadow out. And there's a Grass Energy, so that's a GG. Or maybe it's not GG actually. Maybe I can still win this game by just attacking out my opponent. What about that? What about that? What if the last Guzma is actually prized? Do I have something else to do? No, I don't. So we're gonna try to do it. We're gonna try to do it in a big fashion way. I mean, right, I can do that. Quite obvious, I first need to see if I have Guzma left. I do have. But I might deck myself before I deck my opponent out. It really all depends if he have Guzma available, literally. Desperate times call for desperate measure. So I do have 5 cards left, but I'm not gonna deck out my opponent actually. I'm not gonna deck him out because I don't have another draw supporter left. Or maybe I deck him out. There's a Nazball, especially he probably have Guzma available. This is the reason why he's trying to get him in play. It's just question how many turns he needs to play before he managed to get him. Or maybe he's trying to get the last double course energy card. One of those two options are available actually, so we're gonna see which one. Yeah, I can use my Tapu Cure. 2 cards left. There's a Mountain Pass. Luckily, I don't have any supporter card left, so he can't discard pretty much anything. There is a Rescue Stretcher, so he can buy himself... Okay, the only card he had was a Marshadow. There's one Instruct. There's a Double Course Energy card, and this will be Retreat for the knockout. 300 damage counters down to my Tapu Lele. This is the reason why Spell Tag is a must-have in this type of the deck. Not sure what to think about this hand. At least I have Cynthia and Marshadow, but still, wasting a bench space for Marshadow, not looking comfortable, especially when I see this Evil Domination Weavile. It's gross. Alright, what we can get there? First things first, I'm gonna go with one Ditto, with one Mystery Treasure, which will be for energy, and then for my Inkay, and more than that, I'm thinking about first playing Cynthia, second probably trying to get Marshadow let loose to 4, but since he have this bad boy Vulpix, not sure how good and smart that would be anyways. Escape Board, energy attachment, and I'm done for now. I'm thinking about retreating my Necrozma next turn, specifically to... Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, Necrozma is the only attacker that can one-hit knock out Zoroark, but it needs to have a tons of energy cards available. Still, it can't be knocked out that easily, so I'm thinking about just playing energy attachment Cynthia and maybe considering passing the turn after that. Okay, maybe I just add... Actually, I can add myself just a Substrike kind of play, right? Just one Pokemon with ability in case if I need something for draw support. Cynthia. There's the Nazball for another Inkay. I will attach my energy. I will play my Ultra Ball. And it will be for my Marshadow, actually. He have way too many cards available. I decided not to play Chimecho. Just it's not fun. I mean, for me, it's definitely not fun. I could use it, but don't really want to use it against this type of deck because the whole deck just relies on abilities, so I'm not gonna do it. It's just near impossible for my opponent then to even try to think about playing the game. Okay, so I have two Pokemons with abilities in play, meaning that my opponent can hit for 100 with his Weavile, and that's far from enough for the knockout, so he decided to use Beacon. Alright, there we go. So the things that I have available in my hand, I do have Ultra Ball, so I'm thinking maybe about potentially grabbing myself a... I'm thinking about that Tapu Lele play. And I'm thinking about that Guzma play, to be honest. Literally only one card is all I really need in this situation, and it's one copy of Malamar. And I think I have very good chance to pull one of them. I mean, I'm trading 2 price cards for 2 price cards, but if I can take first 2 price cards, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Okay, and I think I can do it. So right now I have way too many Pokemon with abilities in play, meaning that only one copy of my opponent Weavile can one-hit knock on my Necrozma. It's quite obvious. But I took first 2 price cards, so I'm kind of happy. Psychic and Rescue Stretcher. Alright, that's a good way to go for a respawn knockout against that Weavile. I would love to see Deoxys or maybe Giratina in play. There's a Ninetales with Mysterious Guidance. If the top deck will be some sort of the, let's say, Ultra Ball or maybe Mysterious Treasure, I will definitely consider trying to get maybe 2 more price cards. Or actually, I can't. I can attach max 3 energies. Ooh. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. This Fill Blower is actually gonna hurt. To retreat cost. Well, then that's the play. Professor Elm, obviously for 2 more Zoruas and 1 Sneasel. He already thinks that I will have backup knockout available. No, I'm not gonna have it. And I have 3 escape boards after this one in my discard pile. Just another Rescue Stretcher. In this situation, I will just reshuffle my Pokemon back. Nah, I just don't want to play this bad boy. Literally, I can knock him out with my Tapu Lele. I mean, I can do that, but no, I can't. I mean, Guzma is a must-have play this turn, so it all depends. Do I want to stall sometime or not? But that stall won't be good anyways. I need prizes, and I need them so badly. So what about something like this? 7 energies. No, why I attached energy to my Inkay? Yeah, it's obvious that I'm gonna get this Mysterious Treasure. I'll just try to hypnosis him. Ah, he wakes up. Right now I just don't have, I just ran off the resources. Those escape boards are all in my discard pile. The reason why I attached energy to my Inkay, I had something on my mind like, well, maybe I can get Malamar and then I can Guzma his Ditto or maybe Zoru or Vulpix and knock him out. And then I just realized, yeah, but I can't put Malamar in the active position and use Psychic Recharge on him, because I can attach only energy to my benched Pokemon. It would be too strong if you could attach energies to your active Pokemon. I mean, come on. Wow, he decided not to go for 2 prize cards there. That's even more surprising me here. Actually, my bad call was when I didn't want to knock this Weavile out with my Tapu Lele. I should just go for the knock with my Tapu Lele against this Weavile. Actually, I couldn't do that. Yeah, that was the reason why I didn't have another escape board available. If I had, I would personally do that. Because after that, the only possible option for my opponent would be just to attack me with the Sword Arc. But right now, it's just game loss anyway. Still, we can try to put him in a sleep mode. Or maybe not. Can I still steal the show? Maybe. But I don't think he don't have another Guzma available. There's like 12 cards in his hand, so he should have one more Guzma available. And I have like 6 Pokemons in play with abilities. That is just, it is just way too hard to watch even this, you know. I mean, as expected, and he's still trying just to target those Malamars. I have no clue why in the world he's just trying to do that, because it and how he hit for 100. Oh yeah, just because of the Mach. Oh, Mach is on my side right now, actually. That Mach is actually on my side right now, so I'm gonna go with my Substriker to the front, and then I'm gonna catch his Mach. I will use my Sprint. And I have only 3 cards left. And 4 Guzmas in my discard pile. Yeah, I guess I can deck out myself at least. That was not good at all. Tomorrow live stream, make sure to subscribe and be here at the same time. I will try to play with Greninja, my favorite deck so far in the standard format after that Ninetales deck. Really like those water Pokemons, a huge fan of them. Greninja, Weavile, Tapu Koko, Latias, ultimate damage spread deck. You're gonna see that. And that deck is something that I really enjoy playing. Not even sure how many wins I gain in this live stream. And did I even manage to move a couple places at all? I was at 164 place. Who knows in which position I am right now, so I guess I'm gonna try to check that out. And I will try to see if I gain any place. Actually, I'm on 108 position right now, so I almost managed to enter top 100. That was a goal in today's live stream, actually. Marshadow, nice. I'm taking that all in. Mysterious Treasure, I'm also gonna take that. Okay, for now I'm just gonna hypnose my opponent. He will wakes up. With Blacephalon, theoretically, yes, he can knock me out. For sure, he can do that. He still needs to get energy and Blacephalon in order to do that. Otherwise, he can still use Knockout Reviver and prevent me from taking the knockout. But we're probably going to see a Blacephalon coming in play and hitting me there. So even if I managed to hypnosis him, he would still be able to recover from this position anyways. There is one charge up, and that will be a knockout. So with my Psychic, I can respawn, knocking my opponent back, which I will definitely do. I'm just gonna need one copy of my Escape Board. If you already didn't, consider buying Escape Boards until they skyrocket, because after the rotation, we're probably going to lose Guzma, Counter Catcher, and Escape Board will be the best two cards you can get. So definitely consider having both of them in your personal collection, if you're a player specifically. I should actually use Rescue Stretcher a little bit later. I have a bigger chance right now not to pull my Escape Board, and I didn't. And looks like I need to waste another Guzma. Damn it. I just want to take the knockout this turn, literally. That's all I really want. Yeah, I'm not gonna need this bad boy anyways. Come on, give me a Escape Board. Oh, it was the last card. It worth it. It definitely worth it. I took that prize card, which is the most important thing. And next turn I can consider trying to put my Necrozma maybe in play, maybe something else. It all depends which Pokemon my opponent will promote to the active position, but he's definitely not in a good spot anyways. After this play. Alright, what's gonna happen next? I'm just patiently waiting. Come on, dude. So Poipole is another target there. With the Psychic, I can't knock it out. However, with Power Blast, I can. So I'm thinking about playing my Nazball. Actually, first Mysterious Treasure, then a Nazball, then Energy Attachment, then 2 Psychic Recharges, and then Sprint. I still have 1 copy of Guzma available, but I just don't like that my opponent is playing so slow, and he decided to pass the turn to me. So I'm looking forward for my Malamar play. Then for the Nazball. I think I have 1 more Guzma left. Yes, I do have. Let's go with the Sprint. Couple of Psychic Recharges for my Necrozma on the bench. And Power Blast for 240 because of the weakness. Alright, so 4 more prizes to go. The only card that I'm gonna need sooner or later will be that Guzma for the Naga versus Blacephalon, but I think my opponent just managed to give up. It's just a matter of time when he will just decide to, you know, basically concede this game. Alright, and he decided to promote Blacephalon, which means I can have free retreat next turn and knock it against that Blacephalon. But the game is over anyways. It's just a matter of time when my opponent will just decide to concede the game and scoop it. I would personally do it by myself a couple minutes ago. I discarded almost entire deck and 3 copies of Guzma in 1 turn in order to get that escape board for the retreat onto that very important Psychic against his Blacephalon. So if I didn't have at that specific moment that escape board, I would probably lose this game. But as usual, I decided to take the risk. I discarded so many cards, and at the end I managed to get what I was looking for. There's a Giratina and a Cynthia. I have 2 more escape boards left. I just need 1 more escape board for the next turn, so I can retreat my Necrozma. I don't know, again, why I attached my escape board to my Deoxys. I should just rather consider retreating it, paying 1 energy, and then recharging back with the Malamar. Those are just tiny plays where you just don't think twice when you play on TCGO. When you play in real life, you always consider all possibilities, what you can play and what you cannot play. Deck Manager says that I played only 6 games today and managed to score 3 games, but that's not true. I think I played maybe around 10 games and I probably win around 5 of them. So I'm around 50% win ratio, something like that. I don't know how I can hide my mouse cursor in the OBS studio. I have no clue how to do that. Alright. This will also be the last game for tonight live stream, or for today's live stream, depending where you're located. Here in Europe, it's definitely night. It's 1 AM. I think somewhere in the United States it's probably maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 p.m. And again, not the best opening hand, but still I'm thinking about discarding Lillie. Going for 1 copy of Inkay. If it's a Lost March, then I'm gonna Bell of Silence him for sure. I know how bad it is when your opponent Bell of Silence you when you play Lost March deck. I mean, I play Lost March deck a lot, and I just know that feeling when your opponent Lost March you, but it's not. It is actually a lone Executor deck, but still I can buy some time, potentially maybe. There's a Shackle with Bell of Silence, preventing my opponent from at least adding those energies in the discard pile. Good thing is that without Lurantis, he can't hit for more than 120, meaning that he won't be able to knock my Giratina with a single shot. So that must be my... Oh, he also plays Sceptile. I took 10 damage because of the Shrine. Oof, that hurts. That actually hurts. 7 more turns, and 7 turns later and my Tapu Lele will be knocked out. Alright, Distortion Door. I'm gonna target his Ditto and execute. Okay, there's a net ball. So he can grab himself a grass energy. He decided rather not to do it. Instruct for 3. And will there be a draw supporter? I have no clue, but at least I know that he cannot put his Pokemons with abilities in play. There's a Guzma for my Tapu Lele, or maybe for even Malamar. He decided rather to go for the Malamar. Will there be a Tropical Shake? Nope, he just decided to pass the turn. Alright, I have Nazball, which needs to be for Ditto. Energy Lillie for 5. Okay, he got me there, no doubt about it. He can knock me out, it's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, I can't knock him back because it's 160 HP Grass Beast Pokemon on the other side of the field. But I'm hoping to get next turn pretty much Escape Board and at least one Psychic Energy in my discard pile so I can start applying some pressure with my Shadow Impact. That's pretty much all I'm looking for at this moment. So there's a Growile, and there's another Alolan Exeggutor as well. So he have right now 2 attackers available. Grass Energy is also on his Exeggutor, meaning that he can hit for 100 this turn and knocks my Malamar out. So I definitely don't feel comfortable about that. And there it is, Tropical Shake for 100. And again, this deck is not favorable against Alolan Exeggutor, that's for sure. Malamar top deck. Should I consider adding another Malamar in play? I think I will. And I think I will bring heavy weapons there. Knowing that this is not a best possible option here, but I don't care too much. I'm looking forward for the one-hit knockout. That's literally all I really need in this matchup if I really want to win. And oh, I don't have extra energy in my discard pile. You gotta be kidding me. How in the world I missed that? Yeah, quite obvious that he's gonna target my Malamars. Shrine is just peeking my Tapu Lele. It's just peeking it, peeking it, peeking it. I'm just taking damage, taking damage, taking damage, and it's just not good. It is just not good. I have 3 Tropical Shakes available. I have 6 prize cards to take. I have this heavily damaged Tapu Lele also in play. And I'm desperately looking for some sort of the answer here, which I simply can't get. At least I have knockout. That's something, right? But it's only for one prize card. I'm taking 10, and I'm taking 10 more after this turn. So next turn specifically, I need to target this Exeggutor, but there's just a couple more turns until he managed to knock my Tapu Lele out. Maybe even this turn he managed to knock him out. Nope, there's a side seer, so he won't be able to do that. This Shrine of Punishment is just making so many problems. And the truth is, if he can set another copy of his Exeggutor in play, then there's no doubt about it, I'm not going to be able to win this game. And he is in a very good way to do that. So Tropical Shake, 120. I'm taking 10 more after this turn. And I need to play my Guzma, but again, I'm short for energy cards. So in this case, Giratina is the only one who can try to do some damage if I have another Malamar left. No, I don't. It is a GG. Not the best ending for sure. Well, that was the deck list that I used in today's live stream. I started like two hours ago. I almost said 2 years ago. Yeah, thanks for watching, for sure. Make sure to subscribe, hit the follow, like button, whatever you want. This is the deck list that I stole from the internet. This is the deck list that one guy from... I'm not sure where I actually stole this deck list. I have this deck uploaded on my channel a few days ago, where I credited that player for entering top 4 and top 8 with this deck list in UK, I think. The biggest problem playing this deck today for me was the fact that against Lost March, I lost twice because I couldn't set up fast. I missed my Chimecho. I couldn't get the exact supporter card, so I think 4 Lilies are not good in this build, in my opinion. Maybe in the real life it's a whole different story, but here on TCGO, Lilies were not good for me. So I would maybe consider playing, maybe, I don't know, at least one Titanize or something like that. Then again, some other cards like Escape Ropes wouldn't be that bad as well. Adding second Giratina would be much better than just having one Giratina, because in the Lost March matchups you're gonna have much better setup. Against some other decks, for example, you should have also better matchup as well. For example, let's just see that alone Exeggutor. Some sort of tool scrapping card is also not bad, because if your opponent plays some sort of stadium card, you're not going to be able to scrap the stadium forever. Maybe even consider playing some type of the stadium as well, and this build wouldn't be that bad. And also I would consider maybe adding some sort of spell tags as well, because they're just way too good for this type of the deck. Still, you can't go for the one-hit knockout with your Giratina or a Deoxys against GX Pokemon, so only thing that you can do is to set your Necrozma-GX in order to attack your opponent GXs, and then you need to trade 2 prize cards for 1 prize card. If you want to double hit something, you're still gonna probably lose 2 prize cards for 1 prize anyways, or actually 2 for 2, because you need to double hit something, and if your opponent can one hit something, that then just is not good. And this is the reason why this deck was not at the first place in the UK. It was just top 4, top 8. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Stay tuned for the upcoming Charizard video. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.